Sewcial Hour Podcast, a podcast for sewists by sewists. I'm your host, Audra.
And I'm your host, Bethany, and today we have some guests with us. So we're so excited to introduce Kassiah and Susan with Siah Swag. How are you guys?
Great.
So excited to have you guys.
Yay.
Y'all are two of my besties, and I love hanging out with you, and we've done so many fun things together. So I'm excited for our audience to get to meet you again. And hear all about the new things you guys are doing. What we always like to do before we dive into all the fun stuff is always kick off with an icebreaker question. So everybody kind of goes around and answers it just to get things warmed up. And so this week's icebreaker question, and I would love for our listeners to jump on and answer this question too, either on YouTube or in our Facebook group, The Sewcial Sewists. But our icebreaker question today is favorite and least favorite bag making fabric to sew with. Kassiah, you want to go first?
Sure. Cotton.
Is your least?
I hate sewing bags of cotton.
And what's your favorite?
My favorite outside material is just a really good vinyl, obviously. And my favorite inside is the bonded nylon right now. I use it for everything.
Awesome. Susan?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the same. I don't sew with cotton on bags anymore. And that bonded poly smooth is my go-to for all the inside stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Audra?
Well, it's funny. I never thought about it until Kassiah and Susan mentioned it, but I can't tell you the last time I made a bag out of cotton. It's been a long time. I hadn't thought about that. My least favorite is waxed canvas. Always, just because it gunks up my machine.
Susan loves wax canvas. How dare you?
Well, I don't have an industrial machine, so it just gunks up my machine. So it's really machine limited, not necessarily the fabric itself. It's tool limited. And my favorite's just a really, really great vinyl or faux leather.
I don't know if I have a least favorite. I'm actually making a bag right now with cotton, but it's a jelly roll, and I'm like turning it into like the rope and then sewing it, so it's not been so bad, right? Except for the lining. It's not fun. But I would say, there's that pebble vinyl that has just a little bit of texture to it. And I don't know, I just really like how it looks and how it sews together. And I made that crossbody with it, and it's been my favorite. It's all I use right now. But I did buy corduroy. I haven't made something with it yet. But then
it frays.
Yeah.
It frays. So just
prepare
protect it, or else you will hate yourself. Yeah.
You will hate yourself.
There's so many options out there, but I love that we're meeting and talking with you guys, because our previous episode was all about the fundamentals of fabrics for bag making specifically. So you guys following that episode just makes perfect sense for the flow of everything. So last episode, we just kind of dove into all the different types of materials that are out there and some best practices when sewing with different types of materials, and talked about interfacing and stabilizers and all sorts of stuff. So now that people have that knowledge, coming in and talking with you guys to learn more about bag making and all that you guys are doing, I think was perfect timing. But I think what I would love to start out with is have you guys share a little bit about who you are, what you do, before we dive into some fun questions.
Who I am. I am just some random mom from Colorado. Let's see. I have 6 children. I have been a stay-at-home mom for 20 plus years. Once they were all in school, I was bored. I've always dabbled. I've always had a side gig. I've always had some kind of little moneymaker thing on the side of being, full-time mom. And crafting was always one of my favorite things to do. And then when, I started sewing baby blankets and clothes and got really into just making things, I knew I loved sewing. And I started doing craft fairs, little tote bags and skirts, nothing crazy. And then COVID hit, right? I feel like everybody started making bags during COVID. I really jumped into the rabbit hole of bag making and fell in love with it. And then I started looking at tutorials online for certain patterns. And I'm like, I think I could do this. I think I could show people how to make these bags. And my kids all thought I was crazy for starting a YouTube channel. They helped me name it. This is where Siah Swag came to be, was the YouTube channel. And we were all sitting around a table throwing out crazy names. And I think it was my son, Sebastian, who was like, Siah Swag. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so stupid, right? It stuck. He created my logo and I just jumped in with both feet, and it has turned into this crazy business where I needed it because I was going through a divorce and I needed income. I needed a way to survive. And I was able to mix my passion with business and bring my sister in, even though she was not a bag maker at the time. She's been such a good sport, and she is now. She is a bag maker now. But she helped me when I was drowning in the business side of it. And she came in and kind of saved me that way. And I just brought her on as my partner, and it's just blossomed into this crazy, amazing business. There's my story.
I know a lot of what you sell, because you don't just have tutorials online, but you sell bag making products. So can you kind of give us a quick glimpse of what that is? And then we'll let Susan kind of share her backstory.
I noticed after I bought my industrial machine that there weren't many choices of threads out there at the time. Now there's way more. A lot of people have dove into this. And so I ended up sourcing, I went through so many vendors. I ended up sourcing some industrial thread that I personally love. I stand behind it. And I created a website, started selling thread. And I'm like, well, let's sell hardware. Let's sell, like, I started just sourcing all of the things you need to create your bag. So I do have a big website end where I sell the products. And then it turned into teaching at events after COVID was done. We do travel and we teach and we do retreats, and we're starting our own retreats. So there's lots of little side aspects. It's just not YouTube. You're right.
Yeah.
So as you can see, my thread wall behind me.
It's so pretty.
It's stunning.
How many colors do you have now?
I don't even know. I need to count. I don't even know.
I just love that 3 of the 4 of us have like rainbow thread
I know.
behind us.
I'm sorry. I'm in a bathroom at a retreat myself right now. So we'll just
Okay, we'll
Photoshop
forgive you.
some thread in behind
We'll
me.
forgive you.
Now,
Yeah.
Susan, you are Kassiah's sister, and you've jumped in head first as well with the bag making and then now working together. Tell us a little bit about how that's been, and maybe even if you want, share a little bit about what else you do, because I think that's a really fun side of you.
I don't know if I jumped in head first. I think I jumped in toe first. I was like, I'll help you a little bit. And she grabbed my foot and she was like,
And then it was a lot of
with
it.
me.
It went from a little bit to a lot of it real fast.
it did. It
Ron
did.
Burgundy, that escalated quickly.
Yes. Yeah. So I'm actually her older sister. We come from a family of 5 kids, and we're the last 2. And so we've always been close. You know, we grew up together, but we're very different in our likes and in what we do. I thought I would have a million kids, and we thought she would go be a hairdresser and, I don't know, be a singer in a band, and I'd be her backup band. I don't know. We had lots of ideas for our future. She ended up having 6 kids. I ended up having only 2, which was not what we expected, but I am a musician. Got my bachelor's in music education, and I taught in the Las Vegas area off and on for 20 years, middle and high school band. The last few years of teaching, I decided to go back and get my master's in conducting, and was kind of headfirst into that. And we just felt like it was time to leave Las Vegas, which meant I was leaving my career in essence. And it felt like the right thing to kind of walk. I thought, you know what, I'll take a couple years and spend some time with my kids. So we came here, and right about then is when Kassiah started, her business started taking off at a rate that it was going to drown her or someone needed to help her. And I was like, hey, I'm not working right now. Why don't I help you with this one thing? How about this? How about this?
Famous last words.
I said, I'll help you until I go back to teaching. Here we are. It's 2025. We moved here 5 summers ago, where I'm in Utah, and I've never gone back to teaching. So
You have. You're just not teaching band or you're
So,
teaching bag making.
Yes, and
So.
I do still teach private lessons 2 days a week. I try to keep the lessons kind of compact because I travel with Kassiah, so I try to always be home for my lessons. And then I actually have been hired. I've done 2 seasons with an orchestra that meets in Southern Nevada. So it's the Southern Nevada Symphony Orchestra, and I'm the conductor of that orchestra. And our season goes from September to April, and we meet every Friday night for rehearsal, and then we have 3 performances throughout the year. And so it's been tricky with the traveling and all this to try to kind of go around that. But it's nice because it keeps me in the music world, because it feeds that part of myself, because that really is what I am first. But I have to admit, something's happened to me, and I like think about what bag to make next now, and I like want to be at my sewing machine, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? What's happening? So I'm in it. I'm in it to win it now. So I help her with back end stuff. I help her with travel. I help her with communications, marketing. Then of course we do a monthly Sister Sew. I do a monthly Susan takeover, and we started a series 2 years ago called Sew in the States, where we're going to try to sew one bag in all 50 states. We've done 19 so far. We go to people's houses. We say, hey, we're coming to such and such state. Who wants us to come to your house? And then we show up.
Right here. Doors open.
Are you Wisconsin?
What state?
Wisconsin.
Where are you? Oh, you're Wisconsin. We haven't done Wisconsin.
We haven't done it yet.
Before we dive into some of our fun questions, Susan, I know you play quite a few different instruments. Do you mind sharing those with everybody?
Well, my favorite is right here on this ear. It's a French horn. My personal French horn that I bought, I've had it for like 35 years, and his name is Jeffrey. And he's adorable. I have also played the piano since I was 8. Both Kassiah and I were required to start piano at 8, and I just never quit. And I love the piano. I play the piano. I play the organ. And then I play everything, but the brass instruments are what I am most comfortable with. I mean, I can kind of dabble in anything. You name an instrument, I've probably played it. I haven't necessarily played it well, but I've played it. I always say I play every instrument enough to trick a 6th grader. All you have to do is be better than the beginners, and they're like, oh my gosh, you're so good. I'm like, I know, right? And then they get to high school, they're like, you're actually not that good at that one. I'm like, nope, joke's on you.
Nope. No, you just have so much talent. You've surpassed me.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
When you guys come do your sewing in the state of Wisconsin, Susan, you and Dave can hang out in the basement because he has the full music setup in the basement of all the toys. So you guys can just sit and do a jam session.
Does he have a drum set?
No, he wants one so bad. He's going to hear this, and then he's going to want, he's been wanting a drum set really bad, and now he's going to feel encouraged.
Dave, get a drum set, because I don't have space for one. So let's do it at your house.
It's fine. We'll get the drum set. You can come play it here.
We won't come sew with her. We won't come sew with her unless she gets the drum set.
That's right.
Oh, come on. Oh. Yeah, Kassiah, Bethany, and I will sew. And then Susan and Dave will provide background music for our sewing. It's perfect.
The live concert while we're sewing. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Let's dive in. My first question is, I mean, I know you guys are sisters. What is it like working together as sisters?
You want to answer that?
Neither one wants to say anything.
No, I can answer. Susan and I, we have a rare type of sister relationship. We never really fought. I mean, we did the little kid fighting, right? Ow, she touched me. She looked at me wrong. That kind of stuff. You know, once we hit our teen years, we weren't enemies. We were best friends. Even though I was off being crazy and doing crazy stuff, and she was off being a band nerd and doing her band stuff, like, we always had each other's backs. Yeah. We always supported each other. Like, so, and we know each other so well. I think Susan knows me the most out of anybody in my life. So to actually be running a business with the person in my life that knows me the most is easy. Mm-hmm. It's amazing because sometimes I don't even have to say something and she looks at me and she's like, okay, I know. And I'm like, okay, great. Like, we can just read each other and play off of each other so well that, cross my fingers, we haven't hit any snags. Like, we haven't ever had an issue come up where we're like, how are we going to resolve this? It just goes together so nicely. So I love that Susan's the other side of the business.
I was going to say easy too. I was going to say it's easy. But I do have to say that we have been deliberate about it. We didn't just, when we realized that I was actually going into business with her and there was money being exchanged, right? That changes things. Because neither of us ever wanted this to be something that gets in the way of our friendship and our sisterness. Our sisterness, is that a word?
Yep, that's it.
Sisterhood.
Yep, sisterness.
And so something that I said from the beginning is, hey, if we're going to do this, if we're going to do actual business, because, you know, business and family, they say don't mix those, it always ends up bad. we would need to do it with full transparency, and we check in with each other every once in a while. I'm like, all right, let's be honest with one another. And if there ever comes a moment where you're not happy with what I'm doing, or I feel like I need to get out, we need to be really honest about it. And so we do check-ins, like, are you frustrated? Do you need me to do more? And she's like, do you need me to pay more? Do you need me to be more communicative? And so I think because we kind of set that precedence at the beginning to know that either of us can, that our friendship is actually way more important than the business. But it's very easy. It's very easy to be in business with her.
I'm so easygoing, aren't I?
No, but
Making
I'm
faces.
used to you. I'm used to you.
I know.
That dynamic is so special, and I think it's unique, but I think for business partners it doesn't have to be unique if they take some of that advice about open communication, really saying what you're feeling, and having those check-in points. I think all partnerships could be that successful if not all personalities factor in, but for the most part, that is such a huge part of a successful duo like you guys, and just so special. How do you guys stay creatively inspired now that it truly is a day-to-day business and not in the hobby category, but in the providing a livelihood category?
It's hard.
That's a good question.
It's a struggle. I get burnt out quite a bit, actually, and I have to take a step back. And usually at those points where I'm burnt out, Susan says, well, let me take over this week. I've got some ideas. I'm like, thank you so much. And I kind of do things on my end to kind of get re-inspired, kind of give my brain a break. And I come back fully refreshed. Like, it's a very much a give and take, especially when it comes to coming up with new ideas. I also have an amazing group of women that have volunteered a while ago to help me on the social media side of things. And we have this group chat, and they are so supportive and helpful in coming up with ideas for bags and different things that I should do. Like, whenever I'm stuck, I just go to that little group on my Facebook Messenger. We call them swagmans now is what they're called. Swagmans, admins, all the admins. I go to my swagman group chat. I'm like, oh my gosh, help me. They're an amazing support group as well. So I have a couple different areas where I can go to when I need that little extra inspiration.
And I might say that very point that you brought up is actually why I started helping her. When she started saying, I am drowning in the business and I'm not even able to do the thing which I love, which is make bags. That's the very thing that made me say, hey, what can I do from my house? Can I do computer work for you from my house so you could do sewing? So that's the thing that you have to figure out.
I mean, as someone who has taught retreats with both of you, we all jokingly say we all need a Susan in our life.
And I say, no, she's mine.
I was like, she's mine. You can't have her. Because you bring the fun and the party, but you think of all these little details and you make sure everything's taken care of. Everything's happening in the background, and Susan just like pops in and out. And there's Susan, and then she's here with prizes, and she's doing this. And then in the background, she's up planning the next thing and getting that ready while we're doing what we're doing. It's just a good duo, like a yin to your yang, but it just makes sense. And I love that you both have different strengths and things that you love to do. And it does cross. I mean, we've turned Susan into a bag maker, and she's obsessed with it now. But she brings an interest and skills to things that she can take off your plate. And I'm telling you, we all need a Susan.
I think the key there is, if you don't have a Susan, so pretend there wasn't another lover to lean on, is recognizing when you're a little burned out and realizing that it's okay to take a step back. And the world will not end. If you don't have a Susan, it will be okay. If you need to take a step back and to reignite that creative fire, I felt that this last month. There was some life stuff that happened, both good and bad, and that was a massive drain on me. And my creative fire was very, very small. And I needed to just take a couple weeks and just let that fire kind of rebuild on its own. And the world didn't end. So if you don't have a Susan, it's okay. The world will not end. Recognize your limitations.
I also think
absolutely.
Susan needs to create like a Susan training that people can go to so that we can choose other Susan.
It's called clown. Bethany is called clown school. I think that's the word you're looking for.
No, I feel like it would be hilarious, but I'm joking. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Every time I'm around you guys and just seeing the bond and the friendship, it is true. I've seen it in action. Kind of leads me into my question of like, if you could give advice to either a new sewist or a sewist who's wanting to kind of venture down to teaching or making videos or starting a small business, what advice would you give them? What are some things that you kind of wish you knew? These are the things that are so important to me that made a difference in my success. Find this or do this. Is there something that stands out to you?
That's a loaded question.
Let me say a couple things where you think. Something that I've noticed in this space, it's tempting to get sucked into analyzing what other people are doing and trying to mimic that in order to boost your own success rate. But I think that is a dangerous and dark hole that you fall into. So I would say you find out what is you and you do that.
That's what I was going to say.
Go ahead, Siah.
No, it was a great answer.
It was a great answer.
Whatever.
I plucked it right from you. But it's something that we have found that I'm more of the analytical back end. I'm analyzing numbers and trying to figure out, okay, how can we help Kassiah maintain a flow of numbers so that, we don't feel like you're always sprinting. Like, you feel like you're always sprinting. And it's really tempting to compare yourself to other people in the space and try to see what they're doing and try to do that. But because Kassiah's her own brand. And so that's what I keep coming back to is do you. And I think everyone needs to figure out what is it that you bring to the table that's you. If it happens to be the same as someone else, that's fine. But you bring whatever is you to the table in this world, and I think it'll go really well. Sorry, Kassiah, go ahead.
That's fine. I was going to say, Susan helps keep me grounded a lot, especially when things are happening and my emotions get high and there's situations that come up. Find somebody that can ground you and be like, okay, let's bring it back a notch. This isn't as big as it is. Do you? Don't worry about that. Like, she helps me a lot with all of the craziness going on in my head about trying to be successful and run this business. You do have to just figure out what you enjoy. And hopefully that's what other people enjoy. And you need to find that group of people and bring them in. Because if you're reaching for all these other different areas that you're not really fitting into, it's not going to work. Like Susan says, do you. Don't compare yourself to other people, because I think that's where people don't do well, is in comparison. So I've tried really hard to stay in my lane and not try to venture out to things that I don't enjoy. I know I don't like Disney stuff. Disney fandom stuff, there are people who do amazing things with that. Yeah, that's not me. I've tried really hard to stick to my own style, what I like to do, the bags I want to do. I don't do a bag just because somebody's paying me to do it. Like, I'm like, I don't like that style. I'm not going to do it. Like, I learned that early on.
We had to have a couple really serious conversations about that, because she was losing her sojo, because she was like, I'm like, why are you upset about doing these videos? She goes, because I'm not doing this bag because I'm inspired. I'm doing it because they asked me to do it and they said they'd pay me. And then I said, then we have a new policy. The new policy is you don't make any promises. You do what you do. And that's worked.
Yeah, it has worked a lot, because I was getting frustrated and I wasn't excited about it anymore. I have a couple videos out there that when I watched them back, I'm like, you can tell I don't like making this. You can totally hear it in my voice and in my actions. I don't want that, because that's not going to inspire anybody. And it doesn't inspire me. It's really hard to ignore all that outside noise and do what you love. And I can guarantee you, you will find your people. You will find other people who love what you do, and you will all grow from that. That's what I have learned throughout the years. And Susan's the one that has helped me kind of figure that out as well.
I feel like people really buy into authenticity. That's where you see that relationship. And I feel like you've done that. Like, you are like, when I meet Kassiah in person and I see Kassiah in a video, and this is the same for Susan, it's the exact same. Like there's no variance. What you see is what you get. And I love that. And you know, I think it's really special. And I think if people just focus on that, then they will find their people and they will come.
It's too exhausting to
Absolutely.
be someone else.
Yeah.
I mean, who can do that, right? Don't be what you think people want you to be, whether it's what you're focusing on in your business or your personality or the way you present yourself. You just have to be you, because no one can keep that up. That'll just sink a person.
And honestly, it's hard because YouTube is
Brutal.
you get people on there who comment and who are negative and who are mean in their comments. I remember when I first started seeing those, and I thought, oh, it's so hurt. Like I took it so personal in the beginning. When you're on YouTube, you can't do that. There are going to be people who don't like you and that are going to choose to comment that they don't like you. And that's okay. That's okay because they don't know you. So it's a brutal, YouTube's a brutal world, and it's hard not to compare yourself to all the other YouTubers out there and be like, well, she has this many views and she has this many followers and I need to get where she is. And I've kind of gotten out of that headspace. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go as far as I go, and that's gonna be okay.
Now you guys have some new things coming up too, with sewing in the States that you've been doing, which you mentioned, but also your first retreat. Do you mind sharing a little bit about those things?
I want to do full-blown retreats eventually, but it's very overwhelming, as you know, since you've been doing your own. So we're starting out little, and we came up with the name Swag Dash. Susan's like, it's DoorDash, except for sewing. I love it. We're doing swag dashes where we come to you, and we have a friend, Measure and Cut is the company name, Danny, and her husband, Brian, have purchased 10 industrial machines and a cylinder arm.
And a trailer.
And a trailer and a truck, and they will travel and meet us at these swag dashes. So they're for industrial machines only. You rent the machine at the swag dash, and it's an 8-hour class. So it's just a workshop right now. So we're doing like 2 workshops a weekend. And the first one is here in Colorado, because I thought, what best to start the swag dash in my home state, right? So we're starting here in Colorado. We're doing one day of the Susu sling and the other day of the Annabelle shoulder bag, because I'm like, well, I got to do my patterns. And we'll have 10 industrial machines, 10 participants from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Susan?
Close.
And I'm sure we'll party afterwards too. Like, it's always like, you come for that, but we always stay and hang out and have a great time. And I hope everybody enjoys it. Like, we've come up with all this special swag and, products, and it should be just a really fun experience. Susan and I will be there. Danny will be there with the machines. And we're starting in Colorado, and in September we're doing Ohio, and beyond that, to be announced.
Yeah, we thought we would get two done first on different sides of the country, take some notes, learn some lessons, and then we'll hopefully plan some more. Our July 1st is our registration time for Ohio, so that one hasn't opened yet. So by the time this comes out, it will have already opened.
That's exciting. And I know Danny and her starting this business with the machines. She's so sweet. She is so sweet. And I'm so happy for her to take on that adventure, and partnering with you guys, I think, was such a good call on.
She's amazing. She has learned these machines from top to bottom. Any issues that arise during the class, she is like right there, ready to fix it, ready to, jump in. Like, she's amazing. So we're super happy that she wanted to do this with us.
And we should say she's not exclusive to us. Like, she'll go to wherever. She's just giving us scheduling priority because we all created this baby together. But she'll go to other retreats, and, they already have, I think
Absolutely.
they have 6 booked this year in their very first year. So it's really cool.
So if you have a space or that you can bring in those types of machines, maybe we'll drop her link and information in the show notes if you guys want to go check out Danny's business. She's so sweet, and I love her. Audrey, did you have anything else that you wanted to ask?
No, you guys answered the last couple of questions I had naturally, which was perfect. So I think it's a great time for us to transition into Thread Talk, which we are actually going to have you, Kassiah, and Susan answer. We are not going to answer this week. Thread Talk is a segment where we talk about something that's happening in the industry, business insight, hot topic, maybe something you like to see, maybe something you don't like to see. This is kind of an opportunity just to talk about whatever you feel you're seeing in the industry you want to highlight, good or bad.
Oh, I mean, there's some bad going on, and I think everybody's kind of weary about what's going to happen to all these small businesses with all that's going on with where we get the products. I know I have been majorly affected by that. You know, my last shipment had a huge extra little bill tacked onto it, and it makes me very scared for my little business. I feel like everybody's aware of that, and we're just kind of holding our breath to see what happens with that. Be patient for all those small business people out there, guys. Like it's a rough time right now, and we're gonna see what happens. But I'm trying my best to stay positive about it. So that's the bad I see going on right now. Kind of the uncertainty of everything. There's always good things. There's always good things happening. I love that now we're really out of COVID and this community is so big now. I love seeing all the get-togethers and the retreats that are going on. Like they are happening everywhere. And it makes my heart so happy that this community has found each other and people have made all of these amazing friends all over the world and are getting together and just having a blast. I think if you have a chance to attend any type of retreat or workshop or weekend event, do it, because the friendships you make at these things, like I can't even tell you how many friends I have gained in this community that I consider my true best friends. And I wouldn't have had that without this community. Put yourself out there, go attend something, and you will be amazed at how much fun it is. Worth every penny. That's my 2 cents.
Well, something funny happened this week, and I think this is like one of the really cool things in this world. Now we know people from everywhere, which was never the case. I had a friend who's getting ready to take a road trip, and she's like, yeah, one of the places we're driving through is Alabama, and someone told us there's these water caves, but I can't remember what they are. I said, just a minute, Alabama, I got you. And
Sonia.
And we sewed in Alabama. I'm like, I will text Miss Alabama right now. I'm like, Sonia, water caves, Alabama. And her husband knew the answer. He says it's this. I'm like, done. And so it was just so fun because honestly, at this point, anywhere we could be like, oh yeah, let's text so-and-so. It's just really cool. There's just so many great people that you get to know. And one of the things I love in this bag making world is everyone posting their stuff that they make. My favorite thing is to go in and say, I love it. Wow. Because I actually am like, wow, that's incredible. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something great that this community does is that we, everyone just really boosts each other. I don't people saying, oh, that bag's a piece of crap. No one does that. They're just like, oh, that's great. I mean, sometimes I do on YouTube if it's for me, but other than that,
protect the Susan, guys. Come on now.
At all costs.
At all costs.
I'm sensitive. Okay.
It's serious, Susan.
We may or may not have a separate thread on our Facebook without Susan, where something had happened and somebody says, protect Susan at all costs. And I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah. I have a last little question before we jump into our You Love to See It, which our You Love to See It is our way of ending the podcast on a positive. It could be sewing related, it could be not sewing related, but it's just a win or something that you've seen recently that just went, oh, that was so good. And I just want to share it. But my question before we do that to both of you is, what is your most favorite bag you've ever made? I know. Kassiah's already rolling her eyes at me that I would ask that because that's an impossible question, but just try.
I mean, oh my gosh. I think everybody knows how much I love making the Louis waist bag. I've made a million of those. That's probably, it's like the Lululemon knockoff. But enjoy making, like love making.
Mm-hmm. That if you had a free day, no distractions, all the materials you needed right there, what would be the first thing that pops in your mind, and like, that's what I want to make today.
Probably a backpack. I freaking love making backpacks. Like,
Yeah.
they're so awesome. I do love a good backpack pattern. So I don't have like a specific one that comes to mind, but I love backpack patterns. So I would probably make a backpack.
Susan?
I know her answer. Can I answer for you?
Count
Yeah.
of 3, you say it at the same time.
Well, there's a
1,
few different
2, 3.
A
notebook
duffel
cover.
bag.
That was the other one I was going to say.
Oh.
That was the other one I was going to say. I had two
Is it?
answers.
Okay.
There's a duffel bag I love to make. It's just a free
Yeah.
pattern I found, and I have made it so many times out of waxed canvas.
It's just the machine. The machine is my limitation.
You need a
Don't
new
judge me,
machine.
please.
I'm not judging
know,
you. I'm
I
not judging
know.
you. No judgment. I'm obsessed with that duffel bag. Like, obsessed with it. I'm like, who wants a duffel bag? Do you need a duffel bag? I'm all making duffel bags. Like, yeah, you need a duffel bag?
We'll put the link to it in the show notes.
It's my favorite. But I do love
Call it the
anything.
Susan.
Yeah. It's called the Safari Duffel, I think. And it's free.
Susan Safari.
The Susan Safari. I do love anything office related. So I love me a good notebook cover. I'll be honest. Ooh, I just think they're just sexy.
Guys, she's attracted to office supplies. It's
Hold on.
really weird.
This says everything
there a word
about
for that?
Susan's personality. That notebook cover equals sexy. Hold on, we're gonna divert here real quick because Bethany, I feel like Susan and I are kindred spirits in a lot of ways, and Bethany will know what I'm talking about.
Do you like
And,
office?
Because-
Kassiah and I are very similar. in a
Yeah,
lot of
I
ways,
feel like
too,
we are very Susan and I.
Mhm.
I feel like we could very much jive because
Are you my Susan?
I think I might be your Susan. Dave and I have an event. It's like a prom themed event. So I went to the basement and I pulled out Bethany's laughing at me. I pull out my prom dress and I put on my prom dress. I FaceTime Bethany and I'm like, here's my prom dress for my event. And it's a tuxedo dress. And she's like, of course your dress has a collar on it. And I'm like, shut up. I'm
She
like,
is
clearly,
Susan.
Kassiah has a story.
Clearly, I knew my brand back when I was a teenager. Because, like, when Bethany and I did our photo shoot, I pulled, like, a blazer out. And she's like, why are you wearing a blazer? And I'm like, because it's my style. So notebook covers, and blazers, and collared dresses. Like, I am here for it.
I was like, I learned that she wanted to be press secretary. That was like her dream job. And so when she showed me this prom dress, the first thing I said was, of course it has a collar. Oh, and it's a beautiful black dress with this white pronounced collar on
It's
it.
a tuxedo dress.
was-
Everybody know what a
funny.
tuxedo dress is?
Yeah.
I would never.
I would never.
I would never.
I would.
Okay, so
Susan would.
quick story. Wait, quick story. Susan's getting married. I'm going with her to wedding dress shop, right? And she's not a girly girl, never has been, and I'm very much girly girl. We go in and she's like, how do I even choose? And I'm like, when you know, like you'll put it on and know. So she finds a few dresses and she goes in there and the first one she puts on, she comes out and it's like a suit. It is a tuxedo type suit dress. And she's like, I love it.
This is it.
She let me
No, you cannot wear that for your wedding. She's like, but I love it.
My first wedding dress was I had a structured bolero jacket with my wedding dress. And when Dave and I got married, I had a jumpsuit. Like I had a full like cream jumpsuit situation. So I'm here. Susan, I feel you.
Connection.
Connection.
Oh my gosh, my face hurts from laughing so hard. But I think I have my own Susan already. But
You do.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to
I
meet
do.
you. My name is Audra, also known as Susan.
AKA Susan. I am your Susan.
I love
if you're interested in a partnership of some kind, we will have checkpoints and we can air our grievances on a regular basis
mean-
if there's something you don't like.
Yeah. If Bethany and I ever like plan an event, it will be the Susans talking. and we'll just follow along. That's how that works.
She always says, "Ask Susan. She knows." I'm like, "Yep."
Yeah.
I'm in
Almost
charge.
So
Susan knows
my
my
love
schedule.
to see it is so easy because it just happened when you meet your Susan.
Oh,
My love to see it is that I just made new friends today. One of them being a very kindred spirit to my style. Not that I don't love you, Kassiah, but clearly there's
That's
a
okay.
bond happening here. I love Bethany, but then you
I
also
know.
have someone who like speaks your language, and you're like,
yeah,
this is it's like the yin to your yang.
I get it.
You're like,
I get
tuxedo
it.
dress? Whoa.
Sold.
I'll take a photo
I'm off.
and I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, I want to see it.
I said that when she sent me, or she FaceTimed me, and she's like, and then all I could see was like from here up, and I was like, of course it has a collar. And then I was like, that might have come off wrong, but like it just was so on brand, and I was just not surprised. It was comical. And she was like, and I was like, no, it's lovely. Don't get me wrong.
It's great.
But I'm not like, what? This doesn't surprise me. Like and I love that she knows exactly who she is. Do you guys have
There's
a you
no
love
way.
to see it that you would like to share to close out our episode?
Well, this is anything to do with sewing. We have a 13-year-old girl who struggles with anxiety, has a hard time going and doing things. But this summer, this is only the second week of summer, and she's already on her second away camp. And
That's huge.
It's huge. And this one, she doesn't have service, so she can't text me every second. Last week, she texted me every second. But I keep my phone nearby, like they're going to call me to come get her, and they haven't. So I'd love to see it. I just feel like it's just awesome to see people kind of progress and work through that stuff. So really awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And she can do it because she has clearly a really good support system.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
There was a previous episode we were talking about summer, and Charlie does sleepaway camp for 2 weeks every summer, and it's completely technology free. And it is just, I think she's 12, and I think it's just so good for this age group to just unplug. No Apple Watches, no phones. We can email her, and they print out the emails, but the only way she can communicate with us is by written letter.
Yeah, my little dude's doing that on Monday, so
Yeah.
love it. Love to see it. This one's kind of a personal one that has been in my memory the last week is when I got home. I was traveling for like 2 weeks without any kids. And when I got home, I had my 2 kids and my son and his girlfriend. And we spent all night playing games and singing to Disney songs really loud in my house for like 3 hours straight. And it just makes my mama heart happy when I have those type of moments. And I was it kind of put me on a high, and it kind of, it gave me that boost I needed when I got home that, I'm glad to be home to my little family. It made me very
awesome.
happy.
I would say that my you love to see it is the fact that I'm not at home right now. I saw a retreat about an hour and a half from me on Sunday that still had some openings, and it was called Pre-Cut Pandemonium, where you make quilts with different pre-cuts. And I was like, well, I have all these pre-cuts. I've been wondering what to do with them. I'm trying to do more quilting, so let's just jump right into that. So I messaged the retreat owner and asked if there were still some spots available. She said there were. And so on Monday, I booked a retreat that started on Wednesday of that same week, and that's where I'm at. And I've had I don't know anybody here. I'm attending and not teaching. I'm sewing the whole time and not walking around making sure everybody else is okay. And it has been so fun. There's such a range of people and experiences and backgrounds, and it's just been really, really nice. And I didn't realize how much I needed that, but it was a spur of the moment. If I don't do it, I won't do it kind of moment. And then I messaged Brett and I was like, I really kind of want to do this. I don't know. And he's like, just do it. Just go. And he's been gone for like 2.5 weeks for travel for work. And so he came home, and then I left an hour later, and he was like, it's fine. You go do what you need to do. We'll hold down the fort. You go do this. And it means a lot because I really needed that. And I think it's good for me as a teacher to have those times to fill my own cup so I can continue to pour from it. I'm here. I've already made one whole quilt top in a day, and it's the biggest quilt I've ever made. And as soon as we get done with this, I'm going to go back downstairs and join the ladies and keep working on some other quilt top today. That's my you love to see it. It's just making time for yourself and giving yourself permission to do that. Before we wrap up, can you guys real quickly let people know, you guys do a lot. So you have all your socials, your YouTubes, your live streams, your Patreon, which we didn't even talk about. So I want you to take a moment to say, how can they learn more from you, get your products, your patterns, get involved in your Patreon, which I'm a part of your Threadheads group, which I love, to maybe share a little bit about that so they can continue to get more from Kassiah and Susan.
I'll talk about Patreon. It's fun. It's just a little bit extra, and it's more one-on-one with Susan and I, depending on what level you join. The base level, we do sew-along. We try and do sew-alongs continuously. We're just getting ready to start a next one, and we do bag swaps. Those are the two main things for the bottom level. And then there's other things. We do private streaming videos just for Patreon members. We do raffles where I pretty much just give out all the bags that I make. We do Zoom meetings for the top tier. We get on once a month with all of the top tier people, and we do either fun games or we just talk to each other, get to know you. And it's really fun for me to kind of see people on a, one-on-one. I see you, I see your name, I'm talking to you, and I get to know all these different people in the group, and it's super fun. Patreon, we just have fun, and Susan and I can kind of let down our guard a little bit more on Patreon because it's not for everybody. We get a little more down and dirty and personal. People know a little bit more about our personal lives on Patreon. That's all I'm saying. Things I wouldn't say on a normal YouTube stream, I might say on a Patreon. Right, Susan?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's just a lot more
Okay.
casual.
A lot more casual.
I don't know
And
if I
then
would say it was down
obviously-
and dirty, but it's casual.
Down and dirty.
That was just
Anything can happen. And then, we have all of our normal platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. We have a lot of fun on those. We love seeing what people make. We love all the YouTube lives that we do. I love interacting with people when they pop on there and talk with me while we're making things. It's super fun. Yeah, and my website. So those are all my different venues of my business. Did I leave anything out, Susan?
You did great.
Susan's stamp of approval.
That's what we need. You need stickers that say that.
I need to think like
Approved.
Susan approved.
Yeah. Yeah. I need a shirt. We need shirts too, or a hat. I know
She
you
walk
love
around
the
at
hat.
the next swag dash and
Yeah.
be like, Susan
Stickers.
approves, Susan approves, Susan approves.
You
Susan
should get
approves.
stickers that say that you could
And
put
hand 'em
on
out.
there.
When they,
that's cute.
like a report card.
I'm doing it. It's already done in
heard
my
it here.
head.
I contributed today.
You did.
Yes.
You did a great job.
I love it. Well, thank you guys for spending so much time with us this morning and hanging out. And I don't know, I'm so grateful for you both and your friendship and seeing everything you're doing. It's just exciting to watch and get to be a part of it. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with us today.
Thanks for inviting
Yeah.
us. We love you guys.
Thanks for having us on. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks, guys. Well, guys, of course, you can watch us on YouTube and comment there, but we'd also love for you to listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And of course, join our Social Sewist Facebook group. That's where the conversation continues after the episode, where we love to hear your thoughts on today's episode. And until next time, happy sewing. Bye.
Happy sewing.